Peace Queen. It's Melissa Crawford of thequeencode.com, and the message today is part 11 in the series entitled Revelations, Unveiling the Great Mystery of the Divine Feminine. So if you haven't seen the last 10 videos in this series, I do encourage you to go back in your free time to watch those as well, but you can always start here. But this video series has been about what all of my video series are about, and that is basically feminine power. But we're taking it deeper here because I've really been going back in time to really take a look at our herstory, our story, the story of women. And it's really important because you can't rightfully reign as queen on your throne if you don't know your herstory. You can't rightfully elevate as a woman if you don't know our story and where we've been as women. And so I've been bringing different elements of our story, the divine feminine story. I've been bringing different elements of this great divine feminine era or the goddess era, so you can really see where we've been, so we can reclaim our power in the present and move forward as we should and reign as the queens that we're called to be. So that's where we are right now. So here in part 11, I really want to address some of the emails that I've been getting since I've been doing this series for almost 3 months. You know, as I'm talking about these different rich elements in our history, there have been some of you that have taken it upon yourself to not just take my word for it, which is great. You've been doing your own research, you've been doing your own homework, and I've been getting some emails because there are some queens out there that are furious when they find out that these things are true, that there are historical facts that support, you know, what I'm saying here. And even deeper than that, it's like a lot of the points and the insights that I'm talking about in these videos are things that you may have felt deep down inside all your life. You just didn't know how to verify it, or maybe you thought you were crazy, but you've been feeling it. And so again, I've been getting these emails because some queens are furious and they're like, Melissa, why would people hide this from us? You know, it's just, it makes me so mad when I think about, you know, how I've been taught to believe, when I've always felt in my gut that, you know, I was made for greater, that I had wings, that I could be greater, but for whatever reason, I've been taught to believe something opposite. And it can make you mad, but I remember years ago when I began to do research and rediscover who I was as a woman, and also rediscover who I was in my divinity. Sometimes it made me mad too, but I began to transcend when I came into a deeper awareness of one of the greatest truths in this universe. And that truth is, we descend to ascend. We descend to ascend. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take it from the perspective of, you know, just life itself. When we come here to this earth plane, we descend here. We descend into matter, into form. Because who we are on the other side of this is spirit. It's the intangible, right? So when we come here on this planet, we descend. And the whole purpose and journey of life is about getting back to remembering who we are at our pure essence. So we descend to ascend. So the same thing with the divine feminine. You know, for the past 2,000 years, we've been into like this divine feminine dark ages where women have been severely persecuted, abused. We even see it now, not only in this country and in America, but also in a lot of third world countries and other countries around the world. Women are disenfranchised. There's just so much going on. There's an attack on the feminine. There are women being persecuted just for being a woman, just for being women. And so the attack continues. But sometimes, you know, you can say to yourself, well, why? Well, why? Because we've gotten to this place that we've lost so much. But it really is just a setup for an amazing comeback. It really is just a setup for, in my opinion, the greatest return that this world has ever seen, that we've ever experienced in the history of this planet. The queen returning to her throne. I'm talking about me, you, collectively, all of us, cosmically. The queen returning to her throne is one of the greatest returns in the history of this planet. So, yeah, we've lost a lot. Yeah, we've come through a lot. But we're about to transcend like never before. So just keep that in mind, Queen, as you're, even in your day-to-day life, when you're wondering, why am I going through this? Why am I going through so much turmoil and so much change in my life, when all I really want to do is just elevate to that next dimension? Keep in mind that you descend to ascend. It's a part of the process. Why? Because the power's in the process. It's all about the journey. It's what you learn in the journey, the character that you learn, the things that are brought to the surface, that are expressed. That's what gives you access to reign powerfully in that next dimension. So everything that we've lost in this divine feminine dark age, it's about to be returned to us 100-fold, okay? And it's not one of these things where we should get mad and point fingers and let's not do the whole battle of the sexes thing. It's not going to serve me, you, or anybody, especially not our children. It's just about realizing that there's been purpose in this entire period where it seems like we've been down for so long. There's great purpose in this. So get ready for the great return, okay? So that's my video for you today. In the meantime, I encourage you to go to my website at thequeencode.com and get some free audios. I have Reign as Queen in 2014. It's still enough time to really make this year a very powerful year for you. I also have the Royal Path to Miracles, a class I recently did that's free as well. So just go on over to my website at www.thequeencode.com and claim your free audios, and I'll be back to you next week with the last video in the Revelation series. Stay tuned.